for some reason, we're blessed with the knowledge of how to run our marriage a lot quicker.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Kind of touching on the time thing, I work from home and you stay at home. So, I mean, for the last 6 years, we've spent like max 3 days apart, which is crazy to even think about. Where I've been somewhere else in a different city or a different town or whatever. Like, it's only been, I mean, max 5.
No, max 3.
Yeah, I'm like, I think we've only been 3 days. Like,
yeah. I mean, ever in existence. I mean, since Sam and I started dating, we very quickly were spending every waking second together. And then when we got married, we just kind of never split each other's side. But so it's has given us far more time. I mean, we ran a business together, so we were doing a business together. He works from home. I'm a stay-at-home mom, so we were at home together.
Yeah.
So the amount of hours that somebody may have spent in 10, 15 years of marriage, I feel like we've spent, I looked up the average, I don't remember it anymore. Do you remember it? It's like something like the average couple spends 2 hours a day together.
Yeah.
Well, we spend that together within the first 2 hours of our morning. And so, yeah, we've had a lot of time.
Like 5 days for a normal couple is like half a day.
Yeah, half a day
for us.
Yeah.
Which is
a blessing.
Yeah.
It's also...
It's crazy.
Yeah. It also makes you learn things a lot quicker. Makes you figure things out. Like, if you had no choice but to run, you're going to get pretty good at running.
Yeah. True.
Versus if you have, I don't know, running's a stupid example because running's pretty self-explanatory, but you know what I mean? Like, if you have no choice but to do one thing, you better get pretty good at it or you're going to sulk.
Yeah, good thing we like each other. At least most of the time, right?
Yeah, most of the time. So why do you think that we're not light years ahead? Why do you think that we have not more knowledge? It's a horrible thing to say. Like, when we were in the room of being with all our elders, I guess, or like people older than us in the remarriage group, like, why is it, do you think? Like, what is the work that you think it took to even get to that point where because obviously we've never taken a remarriage class.
Yeah. We didn't do any of that stuff.
Yeah.
Which probably was a bad idea, but we didn't do any of the counseling or anything.
Yeah, and a lot of people do like
premarital
counseling, yeah.
And in-marital.
So like obviously it wasn't the type of blessing where we just woke up and I was good at basketball.
Yeah.
It was like, obviously we had to work some type of way to get there. Is it the time together that you think got us there, or?
I think part of it. I think we spent a lot of time failing and adjusting. So,
yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, we've had a lot of arguments. We've had a lot of like serious conversations. We've had a lot of just figuring each other out, figuring out what you liked, what you didn't like, what I liked, what I didn't like. And so I think and then also, again, we're best friends, so I think that helps out a lot. Like, the fact that we are married, but our friendship is still one of the most important things in our marriage. Like, obviously the roles and stuff are cool, and like, we're going to do that because God told us to do it, but I think being best friends allows us to give each other that, not space, but like that grace of, you're gonna screw up sometime. I'm not going anywhere. We just have to figure it out. You know, I think, and then I think making that decision when we started was the most important part of being like, no matter how hard this gets, no matter what happens, divorce isn't an option.
Yeah.
So we gotta figure out what the crap we're doing. Like, we fight. It might be, in the beginning, it was like a few days before we would not before we would talk, but before we would like get back to normal. Yeah. And then obviously as we've been going, we've figured out and tweaked.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I'm also I feel like not like pat myself on the back, but like I've never been afraid to talk to you because I guess we were best friends. So there was never, I feel like a lot of like a commonality in that class was that people were afraid to talk to each other, or they weren't talking to each other, or there was like a lack of whatever. And I like to talk till I'm blue in the face. So there was never just that fear of like coming and letting you know, or if I felt something was wrong or like something's up, being like, hey, what's going on? Like, I can tell by your face that I did something or whichever.
Right.
I feel like that helps so much, that ability to communicate with one another, because I mean, we've done our 10,000 hours worth of talking.
Yeah, we have.
I don't even know if we've been married for 10,000 hours.
No, we haven't. But
yeah.
10,000 hours?
Yeah. I'm not gonna do math right now, but I'm pretty sure 1 year.
I'm pretty sure 10,000 hours is.
There's 24 hours in a day.
I don't know. We're not gonna figure it out.
That's right 50 days.
Yeah, where's your phone?
Isn't 50 days 10,000 hours? If 24 hours in a day?
No, not 50 days. What?
50 times 24 would be 10,000.
24. I don't know how to figure that
10,000 divided by 24.
Like 10,000 divided by what?
Or 24 times 365.
To figure out how many hours in a year.
Yeah.
365 times 24 is 8,000. So
no way.
8760.
Okay. Well, anyway, we still definitely surpassed 10,000 hours.
Yeah.
Not of talking, but.
But I'm a professional Elena teacher.
Yeah.
I could teach you.
Yeah.
Not you, but like I could teach you to someone else if I needed to.
Yeah. I know Sam like the back of my hand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really cool though. I don't think a lot of people understand how cool that is, just to be able to be like, in 5 years.
Yeah.
I've spent that much time.
Yeah. I mean, what is that book? Outliers? Am I just making that up?
Outliers?
Ooh, look at me. I've never read that book. Yeah, because if it takes 10,000 hours if that's like a genuine thing, a rule thing, I don't know, I've never read that book, so you're gonna have to make me not sound stupid here. But like, if that's something that's real, and it does genuinely take 10,000 hours, about 10,000 hours, around 10,000, whatever it may be, then you might want to get to that in your marriage as quick as possible.
Yeah.
Like,
if you do it for business or you do it for hobbies, why would you do it for your marriage?
Exactly. Like, I may not know anything else as well as I know you. I know my kids.
Yeah.
I know, which not even all of them. I haven't even. Oh, not all of them, because we have 9 million of them.
Yeah.
So, but I'm a professional in you, and I may not be a professional in the other things that I like doing. But
they're not
my marriage is my the most important thing to me, and that's so cool, because I could have taken, or apparently according to statistics, I could have taken. What would that be? If people spend 2 hours a day together? That's ridiculous. I'm not going to do that math. But that would take years and years and years to even get to a point where you know your spouse. What's even crazier is you're changing constantly. A person is changing, evolving, growing, sometimes going backwards, constantly. So
you don't even know.
Yeah,
by the time know who you're with.
Yeah, by the time you've gotten 10,000 hours, you don't even have 10,000 hours because the person's changed so many freaking times.
Yeah.
Yeah, so weird. Yeah.
That's wild. That's actually a really crazy thing about.
Yeah.
Because, they're going to work. They're liking new things. They're seeing new people. They're meeting new people. And honestly, most marriages suck at communicating. So they're not letting their spouse know these changes all the time.
Yeah.
Where with us, it's kind of like, it's just us. Like, I don't go anywhere. You don't go anywhere. When you change something that you like, you tell me. Not like on a sense of like, you better tell me what you're changing, like what your new likes are, but like, because I'm your best friend and vice versa.
All we do is talk to
each other. And so you're updated in real time on everything.
I would almost say that I've spent more hours with you than you've spent with yourself. I would almost say that I know you better than you know you. In some instances, or you know me better than I know me in some instances. Yeah. Crazy. Yeah. That's the first time I've ever thought about that. That's really cool.
What's crazy is it's only been 5 years. So I'm like, who knows? Like when we're 28 and 26, when we're 35 and 33, or like when we're 40 and 38, It's just gonna be nuts. Because there's times now where we'll be like in the car and we'll just think about the same thing at the exact same time, and then you'll say it or I'll say it and you'll be like, I was just thinking about that.
Yeah.
And like we're kind of becoming
one flesh,
like literally one entity.
Yeah.
And it's just the weirdest thing. It's just like I don't know if it's patterns or what or how that works out, but
well, yeah, imagine if all you're doing is knowing somebody, then that's all you know. I mean, if you are who you're around and all around is you, then yeah, I can only imagine that I think what you think. But also, I mean, there has to be some spirituality to it, because if God says for two people to become one flesh, I mean, there has to be something spiritual as far as like, I imagine if I spent this much time with my mom, I wouldn't know my mom as well as I know you.
Yeah.
You know, because there's intimacy there.
Yeah. That's crazy. I mean, I don't know. It's just it's a wild thing to think about, especially. I don't know. I don't even know where I'm going, but I don't know. I like it. I wouldn't change any of it. I think it's almost crazier that people don't spend as much time together. Like, there's couples that, because of the life they chose and because of the life that they operate in, it's almost like their family is just pictures. It's like the weirdest thing. So like,
yeah, like their family is like literally just an Instagram page, but in their life.
Yeah.
Like it's just a highlight.
It's a highlight.
Like they're only there for the highlights, and the rest they're like mentally checked out of.
Yeah, because they're always at work, or like they're always separated, or
they're frustrated, and so they're mentally like.
Yeah, so they get home and they're frustrated and they're pissed, and so they're not talking, and then they lost a day. It's just like, I don't understand how people do that. Yeah. Or like they go to two different jobs and then they spend more time with the coworkers than they do each other.
Yeah.
Like way more time.
Yeah.
Like, could you imagine if I was at work, like actually physically at work, for 8 hours, and then only came home for 2 hours, and then.
I mean, yeah. On top of that, I think what's so cool is even if you do go to work, even if you did go to work, we would still be on top of being friends when you did get home, because it's a priority for us. But what's even cooler is because of making our friendship a priority and our relationship a priority, I think that's what gets us to where we are now. This, like, we're like a machine. We know where we want to go. We don't know how we're going to get where we're going to go. A lot of that's, time or God or however. We don't always know how we're going to get to where we're going to go, but we know where we want to go. And so, like, our home is our mission, where when you don't ever talk and y'all aren't best friends and he's going to work and you're going to work, or you're going to work and I'm home with the kids, or however it is, you become separate. Yeah. So there's no way, because you and I, we know our roles and we know exactly what we want to do. Well, we know that because we know what our end goal is, and we know what we're wanting to achieve, because we know we're the main thing that we need to protect at all times.
Yeah.
Where when you start, like, when you don't make communication your number one thing, and friendship your number one thing within your marriage, y'all are both going on totally separate roads and separate goals. I almost said roles and goals. You know what I'm saying though? Yeah. And there's so much importance to making sure that the person you married is your bestie for the rest of you.
Bestie for the rest of you.
That's all I get. That's all the girls. But you know what I'm saying?